Success story, hooray.
Hmm.
Local lad does good. But you can just see where it's an entirely different path for the likes of a Sheamus or a Balor.
Yeah.
Where Balor played the NXT game. Sheamus
Mm.
was born under the luckiest fucking Celtic fucking St. Bridget's cross ever. And
Yeah.
just walked into the Fed and Vince went, rah, 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 rah. And Sheamus went, whatever you fucking want, fella. No bother.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, pal. And now
Again, he had the joy of being pale and ginger and therefore interesting looking. Like as daft as it sounds, that is sometimes all you need when you get to somewhere like that.
but I don't trust WWE even knows what the fuck they want because the major star is not the previous major star.
Yes.
They never have been. We've said it before. And you can just see where, especially with OTT, I am not sold on the current story.
Mm.
Um, but it's really, really good. I'm still not sold on it.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because they're doing everything right, and it's my job as the audience member to shut the fuck up, and just
And
go to the
just
show and enjoy it. And it's just a fucking nerd in me.
yeah.
I can just be like, God, that's it's not stop. It's
I
not what.
think I think that's also a bit of like kind of fatigue as well in that respect, and I think like it's one thing that like you haven't really appreciated because like indie wrestling is such a new thing for us.
Maybe,
Is that like I've
maybe.
I've gone since the first year, so like I've had a good long stint of being at their shows and seeing it just a constant fucking curve up here and this kind of like this huge fucking incline in success and in quality and all these different things. Where at some point that has to level off and you have to be a bit sustainable with like with your people that's coming in and out and stuff like that. And then it also doesn't help that current events kind of ruined a lot of things for a lot of people. So like you're kind of like your viewing things are like, okay, how do we just keep this the not only keep the ship steady, but also like not like pin ourselves into a corner like we did last time. And that is hard, like this is where I have a degree of sympathy in the sense where it is really, really hard to do storylines in this type of indie wrestling environment now. Where you don't really have time with people. You kind of do, but you kind of don't. You know,
Mm.
like it is a case of where like no, like we are pushing literally work with independent contractors. They could just fuck off and go to America at any point, or
Yep.
they might just do you know what? I don't want to work for this place anymore. You pissed me off on pay 2 weeks ago, and now my wife doesn't want to know you. So like, well, sorry about you. We're gonna have to go. So like that sort of stuff. Like it's hard to like you can. I think OTT is quite lucky in a sense where there's enough local wrestlers to pull off
Oh,
a coherent story.
unbelievably.
Yeah.
The most enjoyable shows I've been to have been more Irish, just local talent because it's just more. I just preferred it
I
because
remember getting looks off somebody when I was doing a podcast one time saying that I wasn't really interested in seeing Tomohiro Ishii more so than I was looking at our domestic talent. And I was like, I get what he's saying as a wrestling fan because that sounds insane. Like when
yeah,
you have the opportunity to see the Stone Pitbull and you don't want that, what is fucking wrong with you? What do
yeah,
you
yeah,
want as a wrestling fan? But that's the joy
yeah.
of it. We're all different. We all have different needs and wants as wrestling fans.
Yeah, there's definitely a touch of the someone said um not even I haven't been to the Tivoli. Like
Mm,
that was the one I was just like, oh, well, I went to the Tivoli a few times. Like, wow, you went to Tivoli, and some people were like, oh, haven't even been to Shure Road.
yeah.
Like, what? And like, there's such fresh fans in now. It's
Mm.
crazy that I can see. I'm looking at the crowd, like, and I'm just seeing people really love it, and I'm like, ah, I wish I could do that. And I did. I did thoroughly enjoy the last show. Um, Stay hydrated is my new
Mm.
trick. But I can just see where it's like I do kind of have to just walk in the room and accept it as it is, and then thinking of it after the fact, I can go, no, I actually did enjoy that
Mm.
because I got my fucking head, I got my brain out of the way,
Yeah.
and I just parked my brain and went, know what, lads, I'm here as a vessel to yay boo.
Yeah.
It's that simple, but it has to be good enough for me to want to yay boo as well.
Mm.
because I am a pedantic fucking nerd. So you're gonna have to get me as well. Um, even to the point where I'm watching Wednesday,
Mm.
and I adore Wednesday. Love the first series, love the Addams Family. Anyway, um, I'm not convinced on two of the characters,
Okay.
and I'm not going to say. Have you watched the first series of Wednesday?
I actually haven't. Would you believe I haven't? I
Okay.
haven't been able to jump into it yet. It's just
I
like it's because
shan't.
you have so much on our backlog type of shit. Like,
The How I Met Your Mother's glass shatter.
yeah,
I'm very careful not to say certain things because then you go in preloaded
yeah, I get
and
that.
you'll. But there's two characters I don't get and I don't vibe with, and I can kind of park it because that's what I'm looking for.
Hmm.
And then I'm kind of seeing where it went, and I'm like, okay, use a built up series two, and they've done a different, very different distribution of series two, where it's 4 episodes and then season a month.
Yeah.
Like they're actually building like genuine narrative tension. Like it's not just all fucking out in one blip.
Good.
I'm like, oh, I
That's the
get
deal. Yeah.
that. I get that. That's interesting. Hopefully it gleams fucking success.
Hmm.
Um, and I can see where a lot of the first bit of series two did a job to do what it's doing for the next bit.
Hmm.
I'm like, grand. I'm like, grand. I hope it pays off. It's the equivalent of, well, Rey Mysterio in the Royal Rumble. You know, Rey Mysterio winning the Royal Rumble. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, this might not go well. Um, but luckily enough, it's Rey Mysterio. Is it?
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio looks like much like Gina Ortega, generational talents, and both of them are very beautiful.
And that very
Like,
also very much helps.
yeah. But you can just see where I listen. Rey Mysterio and the Filthy Animals, man.
Oh
God
yeah.
damn. God damn. I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
I'm currently watching the new Star Trek. It's called Strange New Worlds, and it's done like a kind of like pre-Kirk era, so it's all
Oh, yeah.
relatively new, kind of like stuff they can mold in. It's kind of there in canon, and it's not there, so it's there enough to be able to do new stuff in it and not feel like you're fucking breaking stuff. And like I can see where you're going with Wednesday in the sense where like. It's like, okay, there's two characters I'm not sure about. The worry thing about like I was on board with all these lads of season one. All these characters work for me now. But now there's turning a few into a direction I don't like. And it's like, oh, so you've watched all the other new Trek that nobody likes, and you thought, you know what, let's do a character in that flavor instead. It's like, nope, come back to the light, come back. Don't Alex Kurtzman this, don't fucking ruin it for yourself. Come on, you're doing so well, you know.
It's
But like
it's
that's natural as well. Like it's their way of
it's
trying to like
it's the
get you
fucking
watching.
you won't you won't get me popping for what I'm supposed to pop for
Yeah.
because I'm a fucking storytelling nerd,
Hmm.
and you'll get me popping for that was a great fucking story. I really enjoy that. The narrative structure, the undertones, the subtext. My God, that was great.
Yeah.
That'll get me more than anything else, and it's just you're not going to get that at certain things.
That's also it's also what your specialty is as well. Like again, like me and Jerry review stuff on the channel here, and like he's an actor, and he loves it. He loves appreciates things about music. Whereas like I hone in on the writing of an episode and their characters, and so it's like okay, what character did really well in this episode? It was this
Yeah,
person, this person, this person, but also you forgot about this person who was also here as well. And like those things were all naturally like that as well. So it
yeah.
comes
I
to the
suppose
point
like
about being a
it's
wrestling
all.
fan as well.
I'm trying to
Like
think. It
you're
was
looking
like
at different things, and I think experience and cynicism comes with age as well. So like you've seen enough, you've recognized enough patterns to know where this one is going. So how is it going to be different this time? It's not that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I very much hone in on characterization,
Yeah.
such as the mimic of me.
Hmm.
Um, if I see a plucky underdog, I'd be like, "Oh, great, plucky underdog,"
Hmm.
and I'm able to lock into plucky underdog where they maybe don't think it's a plucky underdog, and I'm like, "Oh, you don't see what I see.
Yeah.
No, you're Spike Dudley.
Hmm.
You're not Rhino. You're Spike Dudley."
I've
Like,
learned that I like an ensemble cast. I don't like sticking the story to just
ooh,
one
yeah,
person. And like it comes as no surprise because I grew up watching The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine that are all ensemble casts.
Actually,
And it's not like that isn't a shocker in a sense. Even when you're like your childhood TV shows, like Pokemon has 5 characters, six characters when you think about it. It's Ash, Misty, Brock, Jesse, James, and Pikachu. Like that's an ensemble cast when you think about it. The Simpsons is an ensemble cast. Like you could make a valid argument that
yeah,
any one of the family members is the main character of the show.
you do,
Homer,
bar Marge. Marge is shit.
well, Marge is shit. Like, but again,
It
depending on who
gets better.
on how you're watching in a sense. But like arguably in the way they're written, Lisa is the main character, which is why she's the most
Yeah,
annoying. Because
yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
thinks
You know,
she's the
I'll
main
take that.
character in her story. Whereas like traditionally it's going to be Homer in a sense. So like it's always the same thing. So even for new shows that I haven't even touched before this, like when I started going out with Kira, the first show we binge watched was The West Wing. I was like, I
Okay.
fell in love with that show. Like it is not everyone's cup of tea because Aaron Sorkin's writing tends to rub people up the wrong way. And I can totally understand that. It's very fucking preachy. It's very idealistic. It's very, why can't we do things the way this is? Well, here's why. These are all surrounded by dickheads. Correct answer. You know, but that's also kind of like that's a quality of aspirational TV that's been lost. That's a separate thing. But the core thing is that it's an ensemble cast. Martin Sheen should be the main character of the show because he's the president of the United States. But the show is literally about everyone who works underneath him. That's
Yeah,
what the interesting thing is. Like this is an episode now about his speechwriter, who's this miserable old bastard, and no surprise he has a balding and a beard, so I emotionally relate to him. Or his spin doctor, who's like a bit of a sleaze, a bit of a fucking a bit of an arsehake in that sense. Or Rob Lowe, for instance. Like I know he has a character, but it's just easier to just call him Rob Lowe because that's what he is. It's I don't know how many.
you're not hearing arguments from me.
I don't know how else to describe him, to be honest. But it does a kind of thing where like every now and then there's a character about him, or or here comes the wrestling logic again. Season 2 is when Charlie got a push. Right, he's no
Yeah,
longer the
yeah, yeah,
presidential
yeah.
aide. He's actually intrinsic in the story now because it's on a thread of racial violence. It was like that's interesting. That's how you make a character more interesting, is add a different layer. And that's what I found my writing style to be, is that okay, now it's time to add a layer to Jack Freedom. It's now time to add a layer to Violet Storm. And I know where I would go with these characters given the time and space.
I
And
think it's
it makes them all interesting.
especially with future, you can see where happen to be the skill of everyone involved. Everyone can work off everybody.
Yes.
Um, like as is evident, the greatest thing that never happened was me and Aaron ever interact,
Yeah.
because that just would have been like, we should stop recording and everyone just sit back and let's see where this fucking goes.
Hmm.
That's a stage show worth of
Yeah.
chaos. That is just, it's like, this isn't actually feasible logistically for us to try and harness this for YouTube, but
Hmm.
there's something worth doing. But we need to strengthen the fucking ballast here.
Yeah.
We need to
We need to
reinforce
reinforce
the
the hull.
ring. This is fucking Big Show and Kane.
Yeah.
This is that superplex spot that breaks the ring. This is very much that, where you have two very similar chaotically driven people,
Hmm.
and then you have, but everyone else can tool and gain and regain and work off each other.
Yeah.
And there's never a scene and never a role play aspect of it in terms of D&D,
Hmm.
where when the promos are happening, everyone's works well in promos, and then there's other people who are more skilled at the matches, but
Yes.
no one ever lets the other one down.
No.
Everyone is very much locked in to be like, I'm with you here, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Which was something that gave me endless fucking, that I'm still chasing the high of, that I've still not seen the quality of. And
Hmm.
I've gone to workshops, acting workshops and improv workshops, and I've still not seen the level of people being right there with each other on over fucking Zoom.
Yeah. Which is even
That's it.
harder. Like you have the disconnect there as well. You're not even in the room for it.
There's something that but that's what I get in wrestling. That's what I adore about wrestling, is the ballet of it.
Yes.
Is them telling me the story isn't really my thing. I
Mm.
go to watch the stunts. I go to watch, and you'll just because the last show I saw CCW was there's a furniture match, and I
Mm.
hated it. My favorite moment of the entire show was when I knew someone was okay,
Yeah.
and when I saw them make a decision to be safer. That was my
Mm.
favorite moment.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense storytelling wise, but I'm literally just going to watch people do the thing,
Mm.
and it's you've coined it, and it's in my head forever. The art of getting out of the way.
Yeah.
It's I'm going to watch people get out of the way really good, and then I might watch a promo after because I kind of like the promos as
Yeah.
well. But that's you don't get that at the show. You're not going to get an entire show of like storytelling promo,
Mm.
for the exact reasons you've just said. It's hard to do it and hard to monetize it. Um, I would much prefer that. I think it's something that can be done. But only if I do it. And if I do it, because I'm great. But you can just see where, especially with modern wrestling, nothing was as perfect as with the Attitude Era and
Mm.
cable TV.
Yeah.
Nothing was as perfect for wrestling in the pandemic era. Both AEW and WWE did very well out of that.
Yeah.
Nothing else is clicking. AEW haven't found their fucking format. Still think they should go into get him, Jack. You can just see where no one has really connected to the current formats.
Yeah.
WWE has not Netflixed themselves.
Mm.
I can just see where the only one who ever did it right, the only wrestling promotion that got it perfect was Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
But even the Lucha Underground also had the same brief as anything else that is not a competitor to WWE, but still kind of is. And so it's different in something, in one thing in particular. Like I think I said this one time to, I don't know who it was, could possibly have been to Foxy, I can't remember, but I love the idea of a satirical wrestling promotion where
Mm.
like you literally walk in and it's actually not too far away from CCW, weirdly enough, where it is, you're going in knowing that it's a wrestling show that I love the show that goes wrong, right? I haven't actually gone to see it live, and I do intend to see it at some point. But I love the idea of it, where it is a case where like you're going in, and the moment you walk in the theater, the show begins
Yeah,
because someone's gonna trip over, a light's gonna fall, the fucking curtain drops, and someone's bollock naked or something. So you're already playing the game at this point, you know. And I love as well that our women's champion, by the way, is drawing the balls
just
for
for Jack, just for
yeah,
Jack,
just for that. Now,
champion, championship
now,
caliber battle.
if you're keeping score here, you're going to see a lot of Royal Rumble matches on this pay-per-view. So I choose to believe this is the undercard battle royal. Like this is the
Okay, the
okay.
yeah, the Andre the Giant, so on and so forth. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because again, look who's in the match as well. It's Kofi, Carlito, Jeff, and Evan Bourne, right? That they are not the final
Wow,
four of any fucking Royal Rumble.
that is an era.
Yes. Now, in
That
fairness, we
is
are coming in as number seven here, so again,
yeah.
Renaissance here. But yeah, I like the idea of like when you like a satirical wrestling promotion, right? So do it if and satire has to work with something that you know, okay? So you either do
Yeah,
a which would be okay, we're gonna satire American wrestling in its current form, or we're going to satirize on a micro level, which is the local Irish scene. So I've always loved the idea of like putting on a wrestling show where it is deliberately a disaster. It is a shit show. Like the talent have cancelled. The ring is fucking bockety. The microphones don't work. The matches are overbooked, they're overcooked. There's one character, the general manager character just keeps inserting himself into the show all the time and it's all this other stuff. And I love the idea of doing something like that. But that's also my unique sense of humor and satire isn't necessarily funny, kind of way.
mm.
That doesn't exactly resort to comedy. That's just like
It's a conduit.
it's a conduit. Exactly, yeah.
Satire is a conduit for what you're going for. I I will absolutely fucking talk shop with you about this because you have put an idea in my head.
Mm.
Um,
Well, I
um,
think
beyond
the more realistic one.
beyond the recording, I have an idea. But I can just see
Yeah.
where the fucking fuck off that music. Um, there's a really good series, Netflix series called Tires,
Mm.
and it's written and produced by a stand-up comedian called Shane Gillis.
I've heard of Shane Gillis.
He is very, 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 very good. I
Mm.
like him. I like him in the fact that he can make me laugh, and I enjoy the craft.
Yeah.
In the same way, I just watched the Jim Jeffries new Netflix special.
Right.
I think I probably went twice on my own watching it, which it's probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. But I like the craft of it. I can just sit
Mm.
back and go, this is very good. Dave Chappelle doesn't make me laugh, but I can sit back and go, he's a very good orator.
Yeah.
And that's where I get most of my enjoyment from things. As is the attention seeker that I am. I'm probably more suited to doing things than watching them. I'm not a good audience member. But you can just see in the way that you go to a show, you enjoy the show, you are kind of part of the show and not
Yeah.
part of the show. And the right wrestler will work that.
Mm.
Where they will take that thing that Smart R said and turn it around and make it a thing and make a
Yeah.
moment. And there's not a lot of that happening as much, because people aren't as seasoned.
Yes.
But I can just see where Irish wrestling's in a great spot where it's gonna be amazing in 2 years.
Yeah.
Again, it's got because they're touring more, they're moving around more. There's a lot of momentum. There's a
More reps.
lot of there's a
More
lot
reps,
of
yeah.
there's a lot of different heads at the moment, and everyone is pulling together.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is pulling together, and there's a lot of momentum. It's just a matter of timing and seasoning. And it's brilliant. Come on, Jack. He invented women's wrestling. For God's sake.
Again, this is a mirror universe, Brian. He might not have. It could actually have been Dean Malenko who invented women's wrestling.
Wow, it was Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle invented women's wrestling.
You heard it here first, folks.
There was something in. I was kind of watching the Undertaker walk in versus Vontavious Porter, and where you see Big Dead Mark broke into the industry through the very, very traditional territory system.
Yeah.
How the fuck did MVP get a job?
He was spotted. Like that was it. Like it's that kind of. But
Did
again,
he
that was
work
also
the
the
indie?
time.
Did he work the indies? Was he a
Yeah.
fucking yeah?
No, he worked the Indies. He had a again like that kind of catchment back then. They would have had a bit of Indies work in them, but not in
Yeah.
the kind of Indies that we would know as. So it would be kind of like
Oh, it's
yeah.